For this Greenbelt challenge, we're going to use the file called lab data. In this case, the lab did a project. They were getting complaints that their turnaround time had great variability in it and it was taking too long to get results back from the lab. So they conducted a project. We will have some before and after data in this file. What we want to do is create a run chart of turnaround time to see if there are any interesting patterns. Did they reduce the variation? Were they successful in reducing the overall turnaround time? Let's open the file and begin. You'll notice that column D has the turnaround time, and column B shows before versus after. This is a stacked column format where we have 20 observations of lab turnaround time before their project, and then after their project we took another 20 measurements. Let's create the run chart. We simply go to Sigma Excel, Graphical Tools, and select Run Chart. We'll use the entire table next. We'll put time in as the Y variable, and I'm going to put before/after in as the X-axis labels. That will tell us the point at which we switch from before images to after images on this project. We'll use the mean as our center line. We don't want the non-parametric run test. And when we punch OK, we get this result. What did you observe? The number one observation on this is it's very striking as to what happened from before versus after. Starting at observation number 21 through observation 40, you'll see how much tighter those dots are around the center line. This is an indication that the project was very successful in squishing the process or removing excess variation. So it's become much more predictable. Because the center line doesn't vary, we have to conclude that they really did not reduce average turnaround time. It does not appear that that has gone down at all. The other observations that we can make on the before data are we certainly have some bobs and wows. We have this band at the bottom where we have lickety-split turnaround time. So think about the before image. When you sent something off to the lab, you could get it as quickly as 71 minutes, but it might take twice as long to get that back. So the bobs in this case are at the bottom. That's a really fast turnaround time. And then we have one wow at the top, worst of the worst, where some special cause intervened and for whatever reason, we don't know, at that particular observation, things took twice as long. If you had this data for your project, you might have looked at the bobs and tried to figure out what went right so that you could duplicate it, and you might have looked at the wow to figure out what went wrong so that we could try to avoid that. That's our run chart. Hopefully yours came out looking something like that. Let's go back to the course.